Jaimee Dorris, and you're watching Ms Congeniality TV. Have you ever wanted to be a beauty queen? Or maybe you couldn't care less about a crown and simply want to look your very best. Regardless of why you are here, welcome. In the last episode, we got our hair did. Victoria Miguez from Willow Salon boosted my blonde and added in extensions. Stylist Liz Dixon taught us the finer details of the official blowout. Then we met with pageant coach and stylist Becky Minger to learn how to style our hair for appearances and stage. In this episode of Ms Congeniality, we're learning the ins and outs of the beauty queen makeup routine. In Nashville, makeup artist to the stars, Hailey Clark shows us step by step how to create the modern makeup look. Am I supposed to be powdering my décolletage?
Yes. You're supposed to be glowing it.
Then we head down to Laurel, Mississippi to meet with hair and makeup artist Becky Minger. She shows us how to amp up the everyday style for stage. It's a power-packed episode full of all sorts of details you won't want to miss. Remember, if you want to be a beauty queen or at least look like one, you've come to the right place. Makeup. Some women either love it or they hate it, and I have to admit I'm probably somewhere in between. There was a time in my life where I used to get offended. Kid you not, I would get offended if somebody complimented me when I was wearing makeup. I know, kind of crazy, right? I've come a long way. And in the beauty world, I've learned the importance of wearing makeup not just for stage, but also on the day-to-day so that I can have a more polished, queenly look. But where does a woman start? Today, we go to Nashville, Tennessee to meet up with makeup artist Hailey Clark and learn some of her secret makeup tips. Come on, y'all. I love this copper.
Thank you. I love black.
Oh, well, you're a makeup artist. Aren't you supposed to love black?
Yes, you look great. Well, let's
you.
do some makeup. My name is Hailey Clark, and I'm a celebrity makeup artist in Nashville, Tennessee.
What do most women get wrong when it comes to doing makeup?
I think a lot of women have a hard time picking out the right products for them. I think just as a generation with social media, we're very influenced of what we see online. So we could watch one video and be like, oh, I need all those products because we think we're going to look like that person. Mm-hmm. But that's not how it's going to look like on yourself. So what I recommend is really just finding a local makeup artist and taking a lesson or something. So that way it caters to you.
So today's lesson will focus on techniques and not as much on products.
So I start with brows. The reason I do brows first though is because I feel like they really frame the face. I always start on the tail. You never want to start in the front. Just because it's always going to be the harshest. And I always draw straight up in the front because naturally your hair grows straight up in the front. Next I'm going to go in with the eye base.
And is that like a primer?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You called it a base, but I've been told
eye base,
primer.
eye primer, yeah, same thing. This is my magic tool. So this is from Ulta and it's a mascara guard. But for lash extensions, I flip it and I use it to protect the lashes. So I lay it on top of the lashes. And I will start this base on the lash line and blend up. You don't want to go from up to down because then there's not going to be any room to blend at the top.
Is it okay if I open my eye?
Yeah. Well, keep it closed so it doesn't crease because as soon as you put your eye base on, you want to set it with translucent powder.
Really?
Yes.
God, I don't know any of this. I feel like I've been living under like a rock somewhere.
Okay, so eyeshadow, I'm going to keep it simple. For an everyday look, I really suggest using just your bronzer. So I'm going to use my tool again. So for your crease color, a huge tip is to start on the outer corner and just stamp. And get rid of all your product here first before blending in the crease. That way you have a lighter blend because the cleaner the brush, the better the blend. So this inner part, you can do anything. You can leave it like this. You can add kind of a brighter shade. You can add any shimmer you want. And this can even be the highlighter that you use on your face. Just like that.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. It just gives you depth just throughout the day. I typically don't do liner on an everyday basis. I think even with lashes, I think it can be too much sometimes. So my simpler way is using a shadow as a liner. So I would just stamp it And once you kind of make your mark, move on. That way it doesn't pick up the product. And just take it halfway. But we can see what all would have been on your eyelashes.
What a nifty
if you wouldn't have
thing.
used this. And it's $10 at Ulta. Okay, so I'm applying moisturizer just from the center of the face out. This is why I say don't do it in the beginning. Because then if you would have wiped the face to get off any fallout from eyeshadow, you would have wiped off any moisturizer or primer you already had on. This is probably my Holy Grail primer.
Holy Grail.
Yes.
She said Holy Grail. We
Holy
need
Grail.
This
is the Milk Blur Stick, and it's the matte one. I don't think it's on here, but it's the matte blur stick. So I just twist down so you don't lift any of the hairs on the face. So almost like we're like pressing them down. Yeah. On you, a big thing I feel like women get wrong is color matching the foundation. And the biggest thing is you want to match your chest. You don't want to match your face and you don't want to match your neck because you cover your face. And then you blend it down your neck. So you want to go into your chest. Even on a day-to-day basis, I think you should use 2 concealers.
Really?
Yes.
2 concealers.
2. One to correct and one to brighten.
Okay.
So I'm going to use a little bit darker one. And look all the way up. Just where it's darker, I'm just going to add this. So then the lighter color, because I always love a bright under eye. So I apply it in the very inner part and like a little under like the outside just to lift. Blend out the inner part before taking it over. So that way you don't have like patchiness under the eye. So with a little translucent powder, my favorite is the Laura Mercier. I always start outside the nostril. You never want to start right under your under eye because you're going to put all that product right there, which can lead to like crepiness.
No one wants crepiness, that's for sure. Hailey is full of nifty makeup tips. Stay tuned for more. I've been doing it wrong.
So, you ready for this bronzer? Because that's my favorite part.
Your favorite part's the bronzer?
Yes.
It is my least favorite part.
Yeah.
I feel like I can overdo bronzer accidentally because I don't know how to get just a little bit on my brush.
To avoid having kind of just like a big, like kind of how you were saying, always make sure you start in the back, like kind of like of your ear where your ear goes to your mouth, and just kind of tap again, tapping. Almost the higher the better. You don't want to go straight down with it because then it'll bring your face down. Perfect. So I always like to do a little bit on the nose, even for an everyday look. I just feel like it brings everything together. So I start where I left off with the eyeshadow, and I'll just kind of come inward and down, kind of just along the bridge of the nose.
And that's with the bronzer?
Now the skinnier and closer together the lines, the smaller the nose. Okay, we're going to add a little blush now, because now we need color. We took that away with the foundation, so we're going to bring it back here. Now I like to focus on the back of the cheek and bring it forward, and I kind of do a little bit almost on the under eye and the back.
It feels like you're putting it higher than I normally put it. I normally put it on the apples of my cheeks.
Yes, so that can actually make you look like you're drooping.
Oh my God, I've been doing it wrong.
So highlight. I like a little bit of a highlight for a daily look, but I don't like highlight on the cheeks really anymore. So I really just kind of highlight the center of the face just to bring the face, just snatches it. I like to do just a little bit on the tip of the nose and like down the bridge. Just a little bit. So one of my favorite things to do is I will kind of sculpt the cheeks out a little bit. So see how it's just kind of like, meh, just kind of runs together. I'll take a little setting powder, translucent powder, and I'll go under the cheek and just kind of curve upward just to really carve her face. Now I've already set it with powder, which means it's okay to kind of swipe this area. And I'm just going to keep kind of lightly swiping back and forth until it diffuses. Okay, so this is Anastasia Brow Freeze, and I cannot live without this. Like, even if you weren't wearing makeup, you could literally just wear this, and it just kind of gives your brows a fuller effect. And literally just run it through, just kind of lift them, and it helps keep the hairs in place and stay all day. And on a daily basis, I personally don't wear mascara underneath.
I hate mascara underneath my eyes.
Okay, me too. I think it's too much. So I really just put a little bronzer underneath, and it just kind of gives your eyes a little bit more definition than if you didn't have anything. Yes.
I feel like we're almost there.
Yeah, we just gotta do your lip.
That's my favorite part.
Is it?
It is.
So I think when it comes to red lips, filling it in first and then outlining is gonna help. And you can keep it closed. And I think smiling with your mouth closed helps get into any lines. So like, it helps kind of fill. See these lines? It helps fill in anything. So now you have a base. It's a little bit easier than just going right in with this all over.
You know, most people don't do that. They don't cover their entire lips with the liner.
And that's with any color. I'll cover the whole lips. This is by Patrick Tall. He's one of my favorite makeup artists, but it's like a all over glow balm. So I like just to kind of put it all over the chest. But see, it's not like a crazy over the top oil like you would do for like a glam, like a night out or, you know, something over the top. It's a good everyday to give you that glow.
That I have ever put anything on my chest for glow
On
in
the
any
décolletage?
No.
What?
Am I supposed to be powdering my décolletage?
Yes. You're supposed to be glowing it.
You are so wonderful at what you do.
Thank you.
You are an expert.
Well, I had a great canvas, so.
Oh my gosh. And you are so beautiful. I've gotten a chance to look at you really close. Look how beautiful you are.
Thank you. I normally have a mask on every time you've seen me. It's crazy how much people look different without their mask. That looks so good.
So tell me, like, what are some of the big tips that you did today on my face?
The biggest things I can say is definitely less is more. And just putting product where you need it, not necessarily caking your face over, because sometimes it can look worse than better. And then, just knowing what colors suit you, using the same colors throughout the face, really just help polish the look up.
Up next, we take our fabulous day look up a notch.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you just want to add black eyeshadow.
Now that we have our makeup on, we are ready to conquer the world. But are we ready to conquer the stage? We're going to go over here into this hotel room to visit Becky Minger. She's a makeup artist, and she's doing what most makeup artists do. She's doing makeup in a hotel room. Hey!
Welcome! Welcome to my home away from home.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, come on in.
Oh, thank you. By the way, y'all, Becky, I met her because she did my makeup and hair at Nationals when I was competing for Mrs. American, and she is absolutely terrific. She's a professional in her craft, and I trust you with all things face and hair. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. So I like to start with the eyes, both for daytime and then also for stage. Now, if you are going from daytime to a stage look, and you already have your face makeup on, one of the things that I would recommend is to start by putting a little bit of powder under your eyes, so that you can catch any of those sprinkles and then easily brush it away when you're done. So when you're taking your makeup from a daytime look to a stage look, what you want to concentrate on is darkening it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you just want to add black eyeshadow. So we're going to go in with something a little bit darker than what you've got on. And I'm putting this kind of espresso color right on the outer corner of your eye. So we're deepening and darkening that eye look so they're really gonna pop on stage. You wanna make sure that when you are choosing makeup for a pageant, for example, or for stage, one of the things that you're focusing on is getting high quality makeup that has high pigment content. The brand that I use when I'm working with clients, when I'm working at a pageant, is called The Perfect Face. It's a female-owned small business out of Houston, and it's specifically formulated for highlighting situations, so brides and pageants specifically. On stage, you know that there's that high pigment content, so what you see in the palette is actually what you're gonna get on your skin. Another big thing is SPF. SPF is great for your skin. It's great to take care of your skin. However, when you are doing flash photography or something with high lighting, so being on stage, doing filming for TV, SPF can sometimes cause a flashback, and it will bounce that light back out, and it'll actually fade your makeup, and it'll make your it'll kind of make you look white. So you want to avoid SPF when you are doing a high lighting situation.
Good to know.
So chin down and eyes up. We're gonna deepen and darken a little bit under the eye. We're gonna smoke it out just a little bit. And with under eye mascara, you do wanna define those lower lashes a little bit, but on stage, you wanna avoid doing too much lower lash line mascara, because sometimes that can actually cause a shadow. So you don't want to shadow your under eye, except for with actual eyeshadow. May go a touch darker right on the lash line, close. So as you are darkening your makeup from daytime, if you wear a little bit of eyeliner right on that lash line during the daytime, you can also amp up your nighttime look by adding a little bit more liner or a darker color. I'm using a powder liner, but you can always use a pencil, you can use a gel. I also have a gel liner that I really like to use for stage, but for you, since you already have a nice thick lash line, we can make a nice soft line on the lashes. I really like to push into the lash line so that you're really adding thickness to the lashes. That's the whole point of liner, right? To really define the eye and the lash line. The last piece of your stage eye look, I always like to add a little bit of sparkle, and I know you love some sparkle too. And then I just press it right onto the center of the eye. And I'm gonna do one more little thing just for fun.
Is that blue?
It is blue. You have blue eyes. And so I'm gonna put a little bit of blue. This color is called Sloan, again from The Perfect Face. And I'm gonna have you look up and towards the corner. And I'm gonna put this right on your waterline. It's going to reflect that blue up into your eye, and they're going to appear even more blue.
So is this a tip only for people with blue eyes?
So if you have green eyes, you could do green. If you have brown eyes, you do a golden color, so they come out nice and gold. So that's how you're really gonna take your everyday look, your appearance look, and take it to either stage or date night, whatever, whatever you're doing. So now we're going to take a nice fluffy brush and chin down, eyes up, and we're just gonna wipe away anything that fell out.
And finally on Ms Congeniality,
you don't need the biggest lashes just to have lashes. You really still want it to look very beautiful and glamorous. I don't really need to do anything to your foundation for stage. What I would do is add more contour, add more color to your cheek, and then we're gonna talk about lips as well. I add bronzer on the outside areas of the face. So up on that hairline. Again, this adds dimension to your face, and when you're under high lighting and you're on stage, you don't want your face to come across as flat. You need to add that dimension. Then I'm also going to add contour. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or you're 92, you have got to define the jawline. So take that bronzer and go under the jawline, so you're giving definition, again, to the face. So I'm gonna add some cheek color. Another thing that I see a lot for stage is more doesn't always equal best. I think in days gone by, we really kind of thought of pageant makeup as just bright pink cheeks, bright red lips, really big hair, and just dark eyes. But as we've kind of grown, evolved in pageant land, again, it's really about creating a beautiful, glamorous, natural look. It's not just about more being more. You don't need the biggest lashes just to have lashes, or, the hot pink cheeks just to have hot pink cheeks. You really still want it to look very beautiful and glamorous. So we're gonna go ahead and remove your lips. I know, I love your red lip. If you were going for that look, I would say keep them on, but since we're going to a stage look, we're gonna show a different kind of stage lip. For the most part, the trend on stage is definitely a more nude, glossy lip. You still need color. You don't want to have a bold lip and a bold eye. That's it can be just a little bit too much.
A little circus.
A little circus. We don't want to go circus. On stage, sometimes we overline the lip a little bit, which I like. It just gives a fuller appearance on stage. So I like to start from the top of the peak of the lip there, bring it down, and then I use rounded strokes so that it's nice and full. I also like to fill in just a little bit so that you don't have just a harsh line. Even though we are doing a quote-unquote nude lip, you can't go totally nude on stage or else you're not gonna have lips. They're kind of like a corally pink, definitely a neutral. Press, don't rub. And then, since we're going on stage, we're gonna add a little bit of sparkle. I love this color. It's called Sequin, very fitting for pageant, right? It's this beautiful, like golden pink color.
It's like a rose gold. I call it my unicorn gloss.
Yes, I love it. It really is like unicorn gloss. And press. Very good. So that's definitely a more updated, neutral, sexy lip color.
How do I look?
She's ready for stage.
Well, that's all the time we have left for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ms Congeniality, the making of a beauty queen. Coming up next week, we are working on our wardrobe. From day wear and appearances to stage dresses and interview, we're working with queens and stylists to show you what to shop for and how to find it. Remember to love yourself, be yourself, and let's make this world a more beautiful place. Until next time, I am Ms Congeniality.